There we go. What is happening, traders? Wait a second. There we go. What is happening? Welcome back to another stream. We have some trades that we're in, which we're going to just talk about a little, see what's happening with them, where we plan on taking them, and what this trade is looking like. Why did we actually get into this trade? And so, without further ado, no need to waste any time. This trade, I'll show you over in the Discord as well, and just what piqued my interest to actually take this trade. So this is coming off of our last trade that we took. If you go to the last stream, we did display this trade that we're in. I think we came through and we updated the... No. So we just have the trade modified, new take profit. So that was when the take profit was initially added in. And then the update that we did was we modified the stop loss to cover 43 pips. And this is what it was looking like when we took that trade or updated the trade. And then trade ended up closing out right where our target was and actually hit the negative levels, just to show that we do have a lot of resistance here. Let's go into, this was GU, I'm pretty sure, that we're looking at. I mean, the bias is different now. Let's see. Exactly, this was GU. We exited at 34.28. $34.28, somewhere right around here. So we got out pretty nicely. Price did increase a little higher, right up to, you can see we had the daily support level here. Price did go a little bit higher, came with some consolidation, and now the trend is back to bear. So pretty well defined trade. Do not be interested in these here. This is something I'm just working on, but this is the one trade that we are actually in. And so that's how the last trade closed out. The current trade that we're in here, you can basically see what the daily levels are. It plotted out the relevant levels, and last thing we did was rejected the support area that was made down here. So the bias switched to bullish. This is updated on the 4-hour time frame and now accessible to everyone that has the TPA mentorship access. Just updated, and it will work just like this. Plotting everything, doesn't take trades, not an expert advisor. That one is still not released and only available through the auto trader. But here we are breaking, at least for now, we're above the previous support turn resistance. So closing above this will be a strong bullish sign as well, just to have price keep going up towards where our target area is. If we go down to the 4-hour, we see everything gets replotted so nicely, and it basically only shows relevant levels. So the previous one here, we came from swing low to swing high, and basically came down to our 127 level. We can see at the we came down to the 161 level. You can see at the 127 level, it started to show that slowdown in the momentum, a little bit of consolidation. We've seen the nice rejection of the 161 level, and we took our entry just about right here. So this 4-hour time frame, probably spent a day right around break even, a little bit of drawdown. But it's risk 1 for 9. Okay? It's risk 1. So we can see the original trade originally just taken just like this. No stop loss in the beginning. A few seconds later, not even a minute later, stop loss is in, and we can see that our risk is 0.47%. Risk 0.47%, 22.3 pips, and then we slap in that take profit, and it's risk 1 for 9.8. 218 pips we're looking for a target on this, and so far we are doing pretty nice. As we go past this negative 27 and negative 61% level, we can see some type of slowdown. He says, did that pop up? Yeah, it did pop up on the chat. 1 second. You're looking for sells? Where are you looking for sells? From supply? Where? What price level are you looking for? But yeah, there can be some temporary sell positions from these two levels here. I do expect some type of resistance, or if there is enough momentum, price to just continue to break through. But like I showed from this daily time frame, just if price, we're nearing the end of the day. The end of the day is in like 2-3 hours. If we can close above this level, we have enough to keep pushing towards the upside, at least into where it has the next resistance area. So yeah, this is what this time frame is looking like when it reprojects everything. And what are we up now? If our stop loss is at 22 pips, we're about risk 1 for 3 right now, which is not bad. If we can just close above this level here, where our previous swing low was, I can move the trade to just above break even and not have to worry about it at all. I'll let it do its thing. At least I know if the trade goes bad, I'll make a small profit. But yeah, ultimately this is what I'm looking for. We had the same exact setup basically on pound USD, and same exact setup, 127 rejection. The indicator is a little different. You can see that this here is an invalid setup, but it's still displayed now, not displayed at all. And price came up very nicely towards our target. Like I just showed, price later came up to this level here, which is basically the start of the level, because I have support and resistances defined as more of a range rather than a specific price. So dotted line shows one part of it, shows the inside part of it. Solid lines would show the starting of it. 136.75 after liquidity sweep from this price. Are you in the sell position already, or are you looking to get in? What was I on? I was on this 75. Right around here. This is where you're looking to take sells, or you're already in these sell positions. Because yeah, like I said, we're nearing the end of the day, so we can have some slowdown on this. If there is any, I would expect it around this area here. Maybe by, not this time, but New York Open by tomorrow, maybe we have already hit this level as a retest and giving us enough momentum to continue back up. But I would like to see us close above that daily support level. That would just be very neat, very beneficial. Let me try to do something. I did this last time. Okay, perfect. I'm looking to sell after that sweep. Okay, so you want to see get sweeped out, and then you look for sell positions. What is your sell criteria for the entry? You're looking for what type of rejection? Is it just like a doji? Are you looking for a high wicked candle? Are you looking for an engulfing, evening star? Or do you not look at it in the candle as the candle pattern? But it's not that eventful. If I am to show you what I'm working on here, this is basically the same thing, I can show you it here. This is basically the same thing, but this one takes trades based on these levels at the same stop losses that I would use. And it has a few different modes. So I can always take trades based on the normal support and resistances, or I can take them on the combination of that with the 127 and 161 level as it is here. And yeah, it does a pretty good job. Every time I go to another time frame, it will update. I have the option to close all trades. It keeps the trend defined. It tells me what was the last recent thing of why this trend is considered this. Shows me pending orders. And still it shows the basic thing. It's hard to see on this time frame. But if we go like this to daily, it'll reset. Shows how much time is left, how many minutes are left of this candle, the spread, my profit, pips, percentage, session. And the most important thing, access to. So if you've seen the last stream, you'll see why I ended up updating the Google Sheets, which monitors all of the positions. Oh, it's probably really a lot harder to see with the chat there. Let's do that. But yeah, once we had that clear breakout of this, which would have been defined by the 4-hour candle, which happened right around there, it is a little rocky by the support and resistance areas. That's why you have to be more selective as in choosing a trend direction to actually go into. There are several important factors like time frame consideration, what are the patterns you're looking to trade, and I think it's just very important to be versatile. Very important to be versatile because every situation in the market is a very unique one. And you don't pull up to the battlefield and repeat the same move over and over and over again. You whip out your arsenal. You do different things. So yeah, that's basically this trade that we're in. Let's just take a look at gold. I think this is probably what's on this. So this is giving some 127 levels. It's defined the trend as bullish. Simply because we're above that level. If price is to fall below it, it will switch to bearish and then look for liquidity pulls using the 127 and 161. So basically the only difference between this and that indicator on, or the expert advisor on the Canadian JPY, is this one won't go through and take the trades. But this one will. I can add it to another one so we can just see. Let me first add this, see what's relevant. Wait a second. It's finding a lot. Okay. These levels are quite close together. Let me try something real quick. Yeah, so these are the levels that it defines. And we are basically just on this now. We're bearish. guess that's valid. Yeah, I guess that's valid. Gives its key levels bearish. It would look for those 127 and 161 levels. These are all functioning fine. Let me see. It said using 1 hour time frame and market is already downtrend and market is already make a shift. Shift again downside. You know, that word, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. You learn this from who? This is like fair value gaps, and this is the things taught by that guy. I want to say Ed, but his name's not Ed. What's his name? Ted? This is what Ted teaches. Market, make pullback, backside in 4 hour. Let me go USD. You think this is a downtrend? You think the USD is in a downtrend? Could be. I'm not really playing it from a weekly perspective. But as for the structure, I do have these levels plotted. And it's going up into a very highlighted resistance area. So I can see some type of slowdown unless there is just some injection. Some injection of volatility, activity. Let me get the next one on. But yeah, that's ultimately what I have. We got a pretty good entry on this trade. And why is it not working anymore? No idea. There we go. But are you trading any other pairs? So far, it's pretty good. We got a nice entry with the 161 level for our time frame. We're pushing up, so we'll continue to do that. If we can just get that closure, which is going to be at 5 o'clock. So probably won't get that closure today. But if we can get that closure above this level, maybe at the second hour in the day, I'll go through and I'll move my stop loss. Just cover maybe 5 pips. And then the next update that I'm really looking for is for price to close above the 50% of that Fibonacci, which will be right around here. So if we close above that, I'll move my stop loss right above there or right below there. You're in a sell on this? Yeah, I believe sells are good. Sells are good. I don't have a position to get into right now, but I was just long and taking it from this area up there. I don't know if you've seen it. This is the original setup. Well, this is the original setup with the target. Taking on the 127 rejection. And then we came up to update our stop loss like this. Came through, crushed the target, nice volatility. Really that one candle pushed up damn near, what is that, 40 pips? Something like that. And then from there, we've come down to consolidate a little, push back down. But we got a nice rejection. So, are you a scalper? No. No, I'm not scalping these. I don't think I've shown the 1 minute or 5 minute time frame at all during this whole thing. I've been thinking about setting up a account on the side and then just coming through and scalping there. Just make some content, gamble, and do it like that. But I haven't set that up yet. I'd rather just... These are trades that I've just found and I've taken. And so these are documented in the Discord. So I just share those there. They act as my journal. Other people can take the trades there too. And in the auto trader, these are copied over into there. So I make money on some of these trades. Gold, we're in a trade on, made a bunch of money for us. Gold we got to take up. I believe we exited just at the end of the day, right around here. And then gold opened up, pushed up, and then swung down. But at least we got out. We missed out on some of the additional profit for the next, day or two? But it's okay. We pulled gold from about right here. Right here to here. I think that was the end of the day. Let me see. It was before the weekend. Weekend's here. Yeah, so it would have been here. Pulled it from maybe the support. I can find the trade. Let me see if I can pull it up. There's a trade. We took this one on Euro USD. No, not this. I think we took several of them at once. Euro USD, where you at? Original setup, projection of that 127 level. And you've seen the before that, we came through, crashed into our target. But there should be one for gold, which was phenomenal. Here we have the same thing, projection of these levels. Gold. This might be gold, no target. So this was our setup for gold, rejection of that 127 level, and then the exit for this, if we can just remember that we got in at 51.37. And we got out about $170 later. Something like that. We ultimately made about 16% after fees, and we held that trade for 6 days. So definitely not a scalper. Definitely not a scalper. We hold that trade for 6 days. USD Swiss. Well, USD Swiss, I do have defined as bearish. Is that a chess set? Yeah. I play chess now and then. This is going to end up switching to bullish given we get a good candle closure like we do have now for the, I think this would be for the 4-hour time frame, to be honest. Hmm. $70. Yeah, so this trend is going to get switched to bullish by tomorrow. So that is going to just lead to the higher resistances, and we also just have this intersecting area. But I'm not too interested in a trade on this right now. We're not pulled back into, like, this could be a temporary trade, but if I were to take this, this would basically be counter to what I'm doing here. Yeah, so you just have to make sure that the currency strength that you're comparing makes sense as well. You don't want to buy something and also sell it if it doesn't make sense, you know? But this indicator that I've built is pretty handy. It cuts down a lot of the time that I would have contributed towards analysis and actually plotting these things on myself. Saves a bunch of time. That should get going just now. But there's nothing else that interesting. So maybe one will pop up soon. But if I can get the alerts to display, let me try this. I put on some alerts and it should so this one bullish, you can see we're breaking above the highs. We had some consolidation there by the previous swing highs, but this is to be understood. The fact that when we approach these areas, sometimes they're going to be sticky areas. They're going to be areas where you might lose a lot. So it's important to have the trend direction and trade in the direction of that trend. That was just an alert. It's going to pop up right now. So ultimately, I get these alerts to my phone and to the computer, which will tell me what the alert is. So it's just picking up what these are, and then I can basically determine whether I want to take these trades or not, whether it's something that I should be interested in. Some of these seem a little iffy, like 1 pip. There is some adjustment in the code that was later made to determine where this level is determined from. Not just the 161 or the 127 level, but it now includes the current price, which is an important feature just to help better determine the actual risk to reward. But yeah, trend is bullish. We keep pushing up. We're not making any liquidity pulls right now. So the last one would have been right around here. I believe that was the opportunity. It would have been something, you know what? I can do this. I can bring it back. Let's do 8. May need another one. Okay, well, there would have been one plotted just like this, swing low, swing high, and it would have gave something like this, and we had the opportunity to take that up to the 127 and 161. But we just need some type of pullback from this current area, probably down to the daily resistance area, to where we might be able to get some opportunities in this price. This one, beautiful setup. Once 3 days ago, 2 days ago, however you want to call it, we got that daily rejection of that level. That would have been a clean, nice opportunity for the next day to look for shorts. Price will probably not pull the high, and you just look for short opportunities going down for the day. Let me see if I can actually do this real quick. Okay, that should be good. But yeah, as long as we can get a good daily close on this, I'll be interested in. Look at this. This one is highly bullish as well. Trend has been correctly identified. Structure is pretty clean. And it gave the last breakout of the daily, which is determined by the 4-hour. So there's just nothing relevant in terms of the Fibonacci. We can go a little bit farther back and see what would have been plotted. So it's only going to plot relevant stuff. So last swing low to swing high would have been right around here. Probably would need something different, to be honest. But for the 1-hour time frame, it gives these. And these ones are pretty handy. Shows that we have a lot of liquidity in this area to be pulled. It gets pulled with a doji candle on top of that. You can see they're starting to build up some consolidation. The doji gives a good sign, and then the engulfing after that gives a perfect sign to follow this up. Where was I? So this basically tells me that we're currently interacting with this. So it's indicating that, yeah, we should take a sell position now. But I'm not going to do that at this point in time. I'm not interested in taking any other trades. I just want this trade to pan out. Let me secure it at least before I look to do anything else. This comes with some beautiful structure. If we go to the 1-hour, probably gives an opportunity. But then this would be a day trade. This would maybe be an intraday trade. Yeah, because that's what part of the structure that I was seeing. Swing high to swing low, 127 area. Stop loss will be on the other side of the relevant candle, which would be a hard pull here. Somewhere just right around there. I don't know if I put this indicator, if I put the expert advisor on, what will happen? Let's see. Yeah, so that's what that would do. It would come through, put pending order of a certain risk near here, stop loss at the high. So yeah, this one came out just like this. Boom, just as I said. 127 rejection and entry right around there. There's no other valid opportunities. I don't even see. The only other thing that I could see is swing high to swing low here, in which the expert advisor is not set to determine certain levels based on range. But that's clean. That's super clean. So it gives us that we have 4 pending orders. If we increase the amount of Fibonacci's to display, it would use the other relevant pending orders. But this one's set pretty good. We have 161 level. Candle is, stop loss is to the high of the relevant candle. Same thing with this and for this one here. But we're gonna not use these. This can probably get cleaned up a little. Yeah, the daily close will tell a lot. The daily close will definitely tell a lot as to the direction we're actually looking to push in. We probably have too many Fibonacci set to display on this. We can set this to 2. We just have a lot of relevant levels, relevant swing levels. And this is looking for bulls just since we closed above this level here. So no relevant opportunities, but it does keep moving, replotting, and it's fresh for you to get a position on. What's another good looking one? Let's just start on the daily, make sure it syncs properly, and we can get a good general view. Back to bearish. We got some support levels down below. Let's do this too. For the settings, I think this is all fine. I don't think I need to change anything. Pretty sure default settings are just for this. So it determines the 127 and 161 level. Doesn't show the swing, but it is measured. Swing low to swing high will produce these. Sorry, swing high to swing low will produce these. Trend is bearish. Go down to the 4 hour. Everything gets replotted. And we can basically see from swing high to swing low of this measurement, we would have pulled up to a nice 127 level rejection. Stop loss would not have get pulled, and we would be trending down. We could still take a trade now on this. This goes in line with buying the USD Canadian, but I'm not just gonna hop into an opportunity like this. It's 2 o'clock. I can keep the same stop loss that it gives now for the 161. Let's see what the daily's like. We have some range that we can go down. See what the 1 hour paints. Nothing good. Ooh, shit. This is gonna take. I might have taken that order if I was a little slower. But nonetheless, I still see the USD as rising temporarily, at least for now. So that's what I would be focusing on. And you can see the comments come up pretty nice. They give the time frame that this was spotted on, whether it's bullish or bearish, the level, the stop loss amount, and also the risk to reward. The risk to rewards are neat, like the one we have now. Risk 1 for 9.8. Neat. Soon, by tomorrow, the next stream, we'll get an update on this and see actually what took place as some of these streams go. We'll just see. I mean, like I said, I can do a smaller account and just gamble it away. Take trades within the stream, much lower time frame. Do things like just take trades like this. Seems good. The only thing is we're not at the level that I would have taken this trade from. This is what you 1, 2, and so this is a case here, which is good to notice. This 161 stop loss is quite large, but the risk is still set to 1%. So it manages the size of them pretty effectively. We can't even see where the stop loss is. But the next candle that we should run into up there should end up there, which is going to be this. Basically, I'm gonna turn this off. We have one on this, which is fine, but it's just waiting for the market to stop trending and go into a consolidation phase where it will make a false breakout or an extreme liquidity pull. And once we can get that extreme liquidity pull to the key levels that we have, stop loss in place, we get a good risk reward. Very sensitive price levels. Am I going to do this real quick? Yeah, so 2 17. What time frame are we on? It replots ever so nicely. Gives me potential opportunities for whatever time frame I want to trade on. And it just gives me the direction of the higher time frame, which is always something that you need. It's important, it's valuable information. Look at that. Nice levels. Nice projections of where we can take trades at. And when it gets to that level, we're going to get a notification. It looks like we, what level is this? It's a daily level. Yeah, we're at a daily support and resistance level. So that's something to take note of. That's one reason I wouldn't take this trade, is that we're directly at that level and we're not at a key Fibonacci level to take a trade. I would imagine some consolidation is going to come in here, maybe just around the range that we are now up to these negative levels. As you can see, the negative levels go inside with the dotted line here as well. So this is a whole range. I could have it shaded in, but I think I'd rather just keep the chart plain as it is. I think it's a little cleaner rather than putting those boxes on them. If I put the boxes, some of them are going to intersect like this and be a little iffy. But yeah, it plots ever so nicely. What was I going to... 4-hour time frame is a proper view for this. I feel like this can probably be edited a little. I'm not sure why. More or less, all of the analysis are very correct. But I believe this should be defined as bearish. You can see all the alerts that it sends, no matter the time frame. So you'll always get updated on what the current best setups are for this analysis. Came down here, consolidated a bunch. Probably going to give a lot of opportunities back to the upside as well. The only thing is we're headed towards the end of the day now. Nothing good from the better time frames I like to trade, at least the 1 hour, the 4 hour. Nothing super good there. Only lower time frame, lower frequency opportunities. But guys, it's been a little minute. I think this is going to be the end of the YouTube stream. We're just going to wait on this trade. We'll see how the update comes in a little. And we'll see how the update comes in a little. Tomorrow's Friday. So yeah, we'll probably check on this tomorrow. See if we updated our stop loss or not. If we can just exit this trade, how much percent are we looking to get? We're about risk 1 to gain 3 right now because we risked 22 pips and we're at 61, so almost risk 1 to gain 3. If I go to this, we're up 1.3%. So not bad. And we're pushing past these levels. These same levels where I'm like, we're probably going to get some resistance here. So far, we're pushing past them. I like to just see price continue to do that and head to our higher time frame target. How beautiful will that be? This would be just like the gold trade and just like the last pound USD trade. With that being said, we'll come back to another stream in a bit. Let me just take you somewhere really quick. If you want the indicator or access to the expert advisor, you got to go here and you got to get involved. Let me make this clear. You got to get involved. It's very affordable. Can't say no. If you do, don't really want to try. But that's all I got to say. Thank you for tuning in for all long stream. I'll catch you guys in the next one. We'll see how